Thank you for coming to Webinar Wednesday. Today we have an interesting presentation on how to build an immersive microsimulation in a breeze with our Sim Wizard. If you have any questions, I do encourage participation via the Q&A box below. We have about 15 minutes of your time here today, so we promise to finish up on time. Again, I do encourage questions, so if we do run over at the end, feel free to continue dropping those questions, and we will stay and get those questions answered for you. We have a group of panelists from eTrain here today, and I would like to introduce Ben Barnard, Director of Artwork here at eTrain. He'll be presenting for us today.
All right. Thank you, Don. If you've never made a sim with us before, we have 3 ways to make simulation. We have the Sim Wizard, we have our AI assisted eMentor 1, which is in beta, and then we have Pro Mode. And today we're going to go through the Wizard. And if you've never made a sim with us before, the Wizard is great because what it does is it walks you through our sim development process by asking you a series of questions, and it'll walk you through various aspects of our sim creation procedure here. So I have my Sim Wizard. I'm going to give it a name. And we have an opportunity to put in a brief description here. So if we come back, we don't need to open the sim to find out what's in it. We can leave ourselves some notes. I'm going to click Create. And that's going to bring me right into the Wizard. And our sims are bookended with pre-training pages at the beginning and then an assessment at the end. So at the beginning here, we have our pre-training, and this is just any sort of learning that I want to give the learner before we begin the sim. So anything they need to be set up for the learning that's about to follow. So I have 3 default pages here that I can build. I can add pages, I can delete pages, and I can edit any of the text that's here. I can add additional images, video, and links. Again, anything to prepare the learner for the simulation they're about to enter. So I'm going to click Save and Close, and you notice this window flash down here. This is the preview window. It allows me to review anything that I've made as I make it. So here in step 2, we're going to be adding the images to the sim. And we have a number of images in our library. We have rooms, we have patients to go with them, and equipment for those rooms. But I'm actually going to use a custom image today. And I grabbed this one at one of our trade shows. It's my wonderful coworker. This is our booth. So we have the environment here, and I've already added in a previous, before I actually started this demo, I added just a couple of click areas for this image. So just anchors for the decision making I'm going to add as part of this demo. So I have one here for Varun and one here for the screen. They're both visible, they're both interactable. Even if I was using the library of images that we have and all of the objects in there, they all are visible or interactable as you need. And click Save and then Close. And then we're going to come to the bread and butter of our simulation process where we are going to add our decision making. So we have our steps here. So in step 1, I'm going to activate that monitor here. And then step 2, I'm going to ask Varun a question about it. So here's step 1. I'm going to select the screen. I'm going to add a click for it. And this is the decision I'm asking the user to make. And I'm going to have some feedback. And the feedback is going to be that the monitor isn't working. I'm going to click Save. And I'm just going to preview that real quick. So I can see my highlight here. Turn on the monitor, and then my feedback. I'm going to come back. I'm going to add a new state for state 2. Select Varun. I'm going to add a click for Varun. And this is normally the procedure I follow when things aren't working. I talk to Varun. And he fixes it. We're going to click save. I'm going to close that. And I can preview this particular state here. Ask Varun why the monitor doesn't work, and I have my feedback. And actually, if I refresh this, I can see my pre-training pages here. I have a short video to introduce the user. If they've never taken a sim with us, just a brief introduction to our sims and how to interact with them. And then I have my first step here, turn on the monitor. It's not working correctly. And then I ask Varun, and he takes care of it. And if I wanted, I could come back in here and I could add another click for Varun. Ignore him. And this time it'll be incorrect. And I can continue on like this. I can add any number of correct and incorrect choices to those objects that I have in there. So here I have my incorrect choice where I ignore Varun. I have the monitor. And we bring me here to step 2. And again, I can continue to add additional steps as well. And that's the end of this particular sim. But like I said, we're bookended here. So we have our pre-training at the beginning. We have an assessment at the end. So we have an assessment builder. And I have my question here. And this is going to be multiple choice. And the question is going to be, should I ignore? And the answer is no. Oh, I got to add my question. Sorry. There we go. Should I ignore Varun? And this is the correct answer. And I have another answer here by default. And I can edit these. Click save and close. And here I can just preview my assessment. And again, if I want to run the entire thing again, I can just refresh it, take a look at my pre-training, my video. I have the beginning of the sim here. Second state loads. And then I'll have my quiz here at the end after I get a debrief report. And this just at the end of each encounter, we have a debrief report, and this just lets me know how I did. Close that, and then I'll get my assessment. And then I will get a debrief report for that as well. And then I'll get a final debrief report at the very end of the sim for everything that I've done, for everything that happened in the simulation. And there we go. And we have some time for some questions. So back to you, Don.
Ben, I have a question for you actually.
Okay.
What materials can you use to build sims? Images, video, what about like VR?
Yes. We can make simulations with VR for the wizard. The wizard is limited to images, but in pro mode, you can add video and images as backgrounds to your simulation.
So I don't see any other questions yet, but another commonly asked question is, how do people take your sims? How do you launch them?
So what they will have is they'll have a link that they'll access, and they'll put in some brief information, and then they'll be able to enter the sim. And actually, Natalie can chime in here as well with anything I might have missed on that.
That's a great point, Ben. Yeah, people can use XAPI links to host the sims on their websites. They can also We're SCORM compatible. You can download a SCORM package for your sim and put it on your learning management system. Those are the most common ways by which we deploy sims.
Thank you, Natalie. And one more question here. How creative can someone be with this? Like, can they build it themselves or do they have to send it over to you to build for them?
Another great question. eTrain is a software as a service platform. So this is our platform by which you can license and build your own sims, but also we're very involved in building custom sims for clients so that we're staying very intimately involved with our own software. So we do both. And then if people are in their initial learning curve, we also build together with our clients. Now, in addition to that, we have a great healthcare library of simulations where we collaborate with universities and hospitals and their sim centers in order to build simulations, and they share them with one another.
I would add on to that as well is that, you know, the team, in addition to myself, we're all users of our tools, and we have worked hard to make sure that our tools are easy to use and flexible. So what that means is we're working to make sure there is little barrier to entry as possible for you to create your simulation. So if you have a phone, you can grab photos, you can grab video, and you can use that to make sims. We work to make sure that it's as easy as possible for you to do that. So basically what you do is you load an image, you add your click areas, you add your choices to those clicks, and you build your sim. And you can do that for anything. I use this image from our show just to prove a point here. You know, a lot of our stuff that we have in the library is healthcare, but you're not limited to healthcare by any means. Again, if you can take a photo of it or a video, you can turn it into simulation, and you're not limited by your subject matter.
Those are great points, Ben. I'd also add that showing the Sim Wizard today is a really quick and easy way to get going with thinking through your instructional design process with the 5 simple questions that you're asked that Ben demonstrated. But we also have 2 other ways by which you can create sims. We have an AI feature that's called eMentor 1, and we've done a webinar last week on that, which is recorded on our website. And additionally, we have a pro mode that isn't for advanced users by any means. That's our affectionate name for it, but you can do anything in pro mode where you can swap out image backgrounds, you can move display to feedback around, you can add additional states, you can move all your clicks around. So a lot of versatility, but 3 ways by which you can get started and then progress in your, advancing your sims.
Thank you very much, Natalie and Ben. And again, to piggyback off of what Natalie said, we did have a webinar on the Pro Mode as well as eMentor 1, and we have those recorded on the YouTube channel. And this one will also be posted on our website as well. And I do want to encourage anyone who has any outstanding questions to send those our way via the Contact Us button on our website at eTrainETC.com. And we would love for you to reach out, schedule a demo for a more in-depth look at our suite of products. And if you do miss a webinar in the future, like I said, we do post these on the website as well as our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is eTrainETC. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.